Alrighty. Time to draw a picture and at the same time tell you what I learned about whatever the heck is going on over on Instagram in late 2019. Anyways, so my engagement has been really quite bad this year. Starting with March. In March, I was accused of plagiarizing by this one person, and that got me my first shadow ban of the year. And then after that, I was being ripped off by some other account who would screenshot my work and then erase my signature and then just repost it. And I talked to them, and they started posting my signature like from time to time in the like under the photo, not like actually tagging me in the thing. So I mean, it was better than nothing. But eventually, I actually got around to reporting them, which led to me being shadow banned for a second time, which I have no idea how that works, and I don't know why, but it was pretty much the worst shadow ban I've ever experienced, and my account has not recovered from that yet. And that was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago or something like that. It was bad. It's a while ago. So just a few days ago, like a week ago now, I noticed that my follower count was going down. Like I said, at the beginning of this year, I used to get about 800 to 1,000 new followers a day, which is stellar. After the first shadow ban, it went down to like 4,000 a week, and then after the second shadow ban, I started just getting negative, losing followers. I wasn't getting any. In a day, I would get like negative 100 something, whatever. So a few days ago, I noticed that I started getting or losing followers again. I couldn't really figure out why, because I hadn't posted anything controversial and I hadn't pissed anyone off. Well, to my knowledge, maybe I piss people off all the time. I just don't know about it, and they report me, and I have no idea, because there's no real tools to utilize to see if anybody is reporting your content, which would be really helpful, because then you could weed out those people, and you could just block them, and you wouldn't have to deal with that, and it would be much nicer environment for a lot of artists, I think. And so, anyways, I went private in the hopes to stem that negative flow of the losing followers. And I started doing some research, a little bit on the internet, a little bit just kind of asking certain followers about what was going on. And I heard from multiple people that they hadn't seen my posts in weeks, months. Hadn't seen my recent posts, hadn't seen the 20 recent posts, hadn't seen anything for a very long time, which was, of course, shocking, because I tried to post every day, because I thought that was good. I thought that was good for engagement. So I was trying to kind of do that all the time, and turns out that's not great, because I was looking into what the algorithm wants right now, and apparently posting less frequently is desirable now. I still haven't quite narrowed down like what the exact, frequency, the exact optimal frequency of posting is, but I'm guessing it's something like every 2 or 3 days, as opposed to posting every day or twice a day, or sometimes 3 times a day like I used to. Apparently that's being flagged as like spammy behavior now. So yeah, I guess I wasn't helping myself with doing that. Then also I started, yeah, like I said, I was online looking at some stuff, and what I saw is a little bit distressing, because first of all, okay, like what is the algorithm? The algorithm is the program that decides what shows up in your feed as the user, what stuff you see, and that's all the algorithm is. It has a very simple job, but it does it in a way. There's a lot of different factors of what goes into what it shows. And so how do we determine what it decides to push and what it decides to hide? This is what I've been trying to figure out. So we got to keep in mind that Instagram is first and foremost a business, and it is a free to use platform. So the thing about that is they've got to make money somehow. And for some reason, there's been this year in particular, like a real pressure from someone or something for Instagram to, really rake in the bucks. So what's been going on is there's like, what's the way to get people to pay for using a free platform? To limit their growth, limit who sees their content. Instead of 10% of your followers, 10 to 15% of your followers seeing your content, it's dropped down to like 5-6%, like even less for some people, 4%, 4.5%. Some users with like 400,000, their engagement reach is about 4.3 something percent. I just did a couple quick engagement checks on a few popular artists, and that's what it comes back as. They're still getting good engagement. Like, they'll still get for anywhere from 9 to 26,000 likes per post, anywhere from 50 to 300 comments. I mean, that's a pretty big gap, but still they're doing all right. Same with ones with half that. Same with like people about my size or a little bit smaller. Still getting good engagement, like anywhere from 8,000 to 22,000 likes, stuff like that. So I was wondering why on earth is why am I getting like 5,000 on some posts, tops like 16,000, when months ago I'd be getting, on a great post, I'd be getting like 26,000, 25,000, and I've grown in followers since then. So I mean, logically you'd think that the engagement should grow as well, but it hasn't. So that's what kind of spurred this whole small research thing, and why I'm talking to y'all now through my mouth device. Oh, shut up. Anyway, so the things that I discovered online that kind of spooked me a little was, first of all, I couldn't really find much evidence or kind of people talking about their problems with engagement. Like, it would always circle back to shadow ban. Like the every article that I found would always be like, oh, you might be shadow banned, this, shadow banned that. And I was searching more for like a permanent shadow ban kind of thing. Like, there's a couple accounts that I interact with and I'm friends with, the owners on Instagram, whose accounts say, one of them has 90,000 followers, and he his projected engagement should be about 1,000 likes per post, but he gets maybe 400 likes on average. It's way below average. Another one, another guy I know, he's got about 40,000 followers, and same thing. His engagement is just trash as well. And they can't possibly be shadow banned because a shadow ban, for all accounts, lasts about 14 days. It's almost common knowledge now that if you have a shadow ban, it lasts 14 days. You can be inactive for 14 days, 2 weeks or something, and eventually, yeah, like your posts will start. I mean, not eventually. I'm sorry. Your hashtags will be used again. Because what a shadow ban is, sorry if nobody knows, or if somebody doesn't know, shadow ban is when Instagram decides to punish your account by making your hashtags not work. You'll type in a bunch of hashtags, but it's as if you never typed them in. You don't get indexed into any of those hashtag lists. So if anybody searches the hashtag that you used, even if you typed it onto your post won't appear there. That's what the shadow ban is. And like I said, it's supposed to last for only about 2 weeks. And if you're a good boy or girl, it goes away. And you should go back to normal engagement. And you should be able to, go back out to recess and play with the rest of the kids, just like God intended. Anyway, one spooky thing I noticed was people in one thread on Reddit where somebody actually did address the concept of a permanent shadow ban. They posted a photograph with partial nudity, and the post got removed, and ever since then their engagement has never recovered. And it was like they said it was like 6 to 8 months ago or something. So kind of like the people I was just telling you about, whose accounts seem to be permanently blacklisted or permanently shadow banned. And what's troubling is that the accounts that the people that I know on Instagram whose accounts I kind of deem permanently shadow banned are known to post, slightly controversial, political content. Nothing out of the ordinary. It happens to be liberal, kind of left-wing stuff, but nothing offensive. Nothing with nothing with vulgar kind of like incitement to to violence or anything like that. Nothing that warrants kind of a report. It's just basic sharing of opinions on certain things. And that's the only thing that I can really think that makes their accounts kind of stand out from other artist accounts. They're just a little bit vocal about their political views. And I've seen on different social media platforms, especially Reddit, where a lot of subreddits they discourage posting about political stuff because it does kind of divide people, especially in this day and age. And it's the subreddits aren't about politics. It'll be about it'll be a Warhammer subreddit, and they say okay, if you post anything political, you're out of here because this is Warhammer. You come here for Warhammer, post about Warhammer, which I totally get. I totally understand that. I try to be as not political as possible just because of that exact thing. I know that some people are going to be triggered by political stuff. Some people are triggered by anything. It doesn't even matter. But political stuff especially. So I kind of lean away from that, or try to, just so I don't trigger anyone and they, report my stuff any more than they already do. Another thing that I found spooky was people reporting that their engagement had fallen after vocally talking about Instagram in their in comments on their, like, talking with somebody on the comments of their page, being vocal about Instagram's policies and how this is unfair, that's unfair, and then noticing a drastic decline in engagement the next day. So yeah, basically, if you talk smack on Instagram openly on Instagram, the algorithm is apparently taking notice of that and doesn't like it and puts you in a corner. What I'm trying to say is that this corner that certain people are being put in, there's no open, there's no term for it yet. Nobody really talks about it yet. And what's freaking me out about it is I think that nobody talks about it because that posts like that are being taken down or being censored. I think what's basically happening is this is just a huge censorship issue. And people who are going against what, say, shareholders of Facebook and Instagram, like what goes against their political views or beliefs, they're the ones who are dictating what content is okay. Not Instagram, not Facebook. It's the shareholders, the people who have money. You have to take a look at the step above the actual company, because the company they're just that. I mean, you got to look at who's paying the bills. And I know it sounds a little conspiracy theorist, but that's where a lot of things are leaning nowadays. Because if you can control content on social media, then you can control the populace. You control what young kids see. You control what older people see. You control what everybody sees. And people are willing to pay big money for that. So this really is something that goes much deeper than just, oh, that image offended me, and I reported it. No, there's people being censored for very particular reasons. And the algorithm, there's a reason why Instagram doesn't have customer support. They don't have answers for questions like the ones that I'm kind of asking, or anyone else for that matter. And even if they did have those answers, and even if they do, it's not in their interest to give those answers out, because that would open them up to a lot of, criticism from the public or from the users. So it's much easier just to keep it covered up, to say no, there's no shadow bans, there's no this, there's no that. The algorithm is this, it's just the robot doing it. Nobody programs the robot. It just changes sometimes. We want to tailor your experience to be a good experience, So now I move on to recommendations about how to get around or how to work with whatever's happening. It's gonna sound a little weird, but I'm just gonna dive right in. Anyway, you're gonna want to not talk any smack about Instagram. You're gonna want to not complain about Instagram. You're gonna want to even not pretend Instagram is Fight Club, okay? And you'll be good. So if you're on the platform, pretend Instagram is Fight Club. Don't ever even talk about it. Don't mention it. Don't use Instagram hashtags. Don't talk to your friends. If you're going to talk about Instagram, talk about it through a different messaging system. Don't talk about it in the DMs, because the algorithm, of course, Instagram watches all your information. What, you think they're gonna exclude your DMs from, like, the rating of your actual account? No, of course not. They watch all that. They put all your stuff through little different word filters, and they put you in a little box, and they give your account a little rating. And yeah, so you'll notice that people who are doing well on Instagram, they don't talk about Instagram. It's a very good reason. They might have some management who gives them these tips and tricks. I'm only kind of learning this for myself, and I'm trying to share it with everyone else. when I post this video, I'm not even going to say that it's about Instagram, although I might. I'll just say go and watch it. The thing is, yeah, just don't talk about Instagram if you're on Instagram. Sounds stupid, but just bear with me. Anyway, next thing you can do to help yourself, to help your engagement, use what's called Instagram TV. It's a relatively new feature, but Instagram, like any other social media, when they come out with some new thing, they want it to be the toast of the town, and they want you to use it. So if you don't use it, you get punished. So use it. Doesn't even matter. Post whatever the hell, anything on there. Just post. Just use Instagram TV. Just play the game. All right. All right. Next thing. What else can you do? So the next thing you can do is, or that I've heard, to get out of shadow bans, to, you know, work with the algorithm a little bit better, is to pay to promote your content. I've only paid to promote my content, I think, twice now. One time I put in one time I did it through Instagram. I paid $20 for like 2 days. I think it was last year around the time I came out with the samurai design, the Talk Smack Get Split. And I'm not swearing because, for obvious reasons. So I did it once then. That was a long time ago. And the last time I did a sponsored thing was through Facebook, not through Instagram. I know they're owned by the same people, but it's not quite the same. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to promote my posts through Instagram every once in a while, and I will report back and I will tell you if that helps my engagement. So that's basically what I've found out about our Instagram overlords and the current state of social media. What I'm trying to say is it's not good. It's not good. Can you do anything about it? No. Can you try and work with it? Sure. Will these issues be resolved? Most likely not. People aren't going to get less greedy. People aren't going to, wake up tomorrow morning and start, just have more compassion in their bodies. That's not going to happen. The only thing you can do if you want to support artists, if you want to support original content creators, is repost their content and tag them. Tag them in the photo. Tag them in the picture. Not below it, not in the comments. Tag them in the picture. That's what helps content creators the most at this point. Is you post them in your stories, you tag them. You post them to your wall, you tag them. That helps more than anything. It's like when you go to when you go and you grab a cup of coffee, or you go and you're at a bar and you grab a drink. You usually tip, right? Because of that service. So there's no difference here. If you're looking at somebody's art or you enjoy somebody's content and you want to share it, a tip for them is just to tag them. That's it. That's the best tip you can give an artist online, short of giving them actual money. So please repost this video, share this video, share my work, share all your favorite artists' work, but please give credit. That's the most important thing. Just be a decent person. Look out for your fellow peoples. Be kind to one another, and let's try to make the little bit of time we have left a good time. Yeah. Okay.
You better not show that.